Also, a Fox News alert out of Georgia where a promised pullout by Russian forces did not seem to be happening. If you're on the ground in the former Soviet Republic, you'd see this. That's a live look outside the town of Gori. Russian tanks, armored personnel carriers, still holding positions outside that key strategic town. Moscow insisting that it's getting ready for a pullout. He has been on the ground there. Have you seen evidence of a pullout, Greg?
Bill, I wish I could tell you that we did see something, but frankly we didn't. We spent most of the day outside of one of the major Georgian military bases here on the western side of Georgia in the town of Senaki. That has been the staging point for the past week, and we have watched it for the buildup of Russian troops. We saw a little bit of activity going in, going out, but nothing, I repeat, nothing that looks like a withdrawal or even preparations for withdrawal. We have in fact heard of more Russian troops today coming into Georgia proper here on the western side of the country from the breakaway region of Abkhazia here in the west. What we did see and what we did hear, Bill, is the detonation of ammunition at that base, and this fits in with what the Georgian government is saying today, that they basically, the Russians basically, have decimated this base, almost a NATO-grade base, a modern base in the past 3 years. Russia is either stealing, according to many people we've spoken to, either stealing everything in sight or destroying what they don't want to steal. Obviously, they want to send a message to the West-friendly government here in Georgia. Bill.
Greg, just so you know, we're reading on the wires now that the Russian President Medvedev has now flown to an area right near the border with South Ossetia, which is right along that border area between Russia and Georgia, and apparently is handing out military medals on behalf of the Russian military to the work that they have done in the past 8 or 9 days. As I mentioned that, what is up with the cat and mouse game that appears to be happening between Moscow and Tbilisi, Greg?
It's a cat and mouse game indeed. In fact, Georgia, I think, would like to believe that this is happening, that Russia is pulling out. But basically, as we've been looking through this weekend, it boils down to this. According to analysts we've been talking to, the Russians are basically, in their analysis, trying to bolster the troop strength here. So when they do finally make a big withdrawal, it can be a big show, and they can still have forces behind. The fear here is that Russia will take advantage of an important loophole in this ceasefire deal, which in fact allows for quote-unquote peacekeeping forces to conduct certain security measures outside of the conflict zone. We all think here that Russia might push the limits of the definitions of all of those terms, and the Russians could be in Georgia proper for maybe a while to come.
Well, Greg Palkot, thank you, reporting from that country in Georgia there. We will be back to Greg as soon as we get events here and when news breaks. Jamie?